Hello everyone, my name is Quinn, my pronouns are they, them, and welcome to my channel Lucid Moons. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Well, okay, I did share a recent video showing off 4 really cool, rare, unique, beautiful Japanese decks. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link down below, so definitely check that out. But other than that, like, it's been months since I have had time to come on here and film anything. Things have just been really crazy. Things have been really busy, as you're about to hear about. This time of year, I work in education, and this time of year is like always a really crazy time of year. And I just also had a lot of stuff going on top of that in my personal life, like lots of really good stuff, but it's just been like absolutely crazy. And on top of that, my partner got a new job, which is amazing, and I'm so happy. And they get to work from home, fully remote, which is so perfect for them, and I'm so excited for them. But we live in a small space. We live in like a 1-bedroom shotgun style. So shotgun means it's like living room, kitchen, bathroom, tiny little bedroom. And the space where I usually film my stuff is out in the living room space, and that's also where our desk is and where she works during the day. So it's just been hard. So I'm up really early today trying to make this video. And yeah, I'm gonna do a forward-facing no face today just because reasons. But I really missed you guys, and I want to share all the stuff that I've been up to the past 3 months. I wanted to do one of these videos every 2 months, but oh my gosh, May was absolutely insane, and the time just absolutely slipped away from me. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to jump right in, and we'll start by talking about some of my highlights over the past 3 months. So I'll try to throw in a few little images. I'm going to kind of like go through it quickly because there was a lot. I got to go to the Arizona Renaissance Festival back in March, and I dressed up like a fairy, as I usually do. I went with my partner and some of her family and a couple of our other friends. Outside of being working in education, I have a second job / hobby. I do pole, I do aerial, I do all kinds of circus-y fun things. So I actually have been teaching pole for about 2 years, and then I made the switch. So I left my last studio and I started at a new studio that in March that offers not only pole classes, but also aerial silks, lyra, trapeze, acrobatics, all kinds of really cool stuff. So it's been really, really exciting to start at a new studio and kind of get to broaden my horizons a little bit. So I started there in March teaching pole, and then actually really exciting, I want to say in early May. Well, actually, I kind of took it on in April, and it became official in May. I started teaching an aerial sling class, and I'll throw a quick little video in here in case you're like, what the hell is aerial sling? So I'll throw a video of me doing like a little sling trick or something like that so you guys can see. So yeah, that was a really exciting, really huge milestone for me. I also got to go to a really cool area here near where I live in Tucson called Tonke Verde Falls with a couple of friends. And this was back before it was hot yet, and it was really nice. We did a short hike. We swam in the water. It was beautiful. I chopped my hair short back in April, and then I cut it even shorter at the end of May. So I have really short, cute hair right now, and I'm super happy because I'm just like a short-haired person. I got to go on a little quick trip up to Phoenix to visit my family and to see a couple really, really good friends that I hadn't seen in a long time back in April. So that was a really, really nice trip. And I also you might have noticed in my last video, I got a new tattoo. I got this gorgeous forearm ornamental tattoo that goes all the way to my hand. So that was super fun, super exciting. I also had a camping trip in early May. So as part of my partner's new job, we got to go with some of her coworkers up to northern Arizona, outside of a town called Cornville. It was like a really nice kind of like glamping campground where they had cabins and stuff. We stayed in a tent, but they also had like bathrooms and showers. They had a pool and a hot tub, and it was also right along Oak Creek. So I got to get in the creek, which is like my favorite thing to do ever, is go swimming in natural waters. So that was amazing. My grandpa celebrated his 97th birthday back at the end of April, and so early in May, we drove back up to Phoenix to have a nice dinner with him and hang out with my family a little bit. So that was really cool. I went on a beautiful hike with my partner and some of our friends up at the top of the Catalina Mountains here in Tucson, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was kind of hot up there, hotter than we expected. I had a fire performance for the first time in a long time, so I also do a little bit of like fire hula hoop, and I have a couple other props that I use, like palm torches and levitation wand. So I got to do that for the first time in a really long time. Whew. As I've mentioned before, I work with youth. I'm a program coordinator for a program that is college and career focused for first generation and low income high school students. So we get to take them on really fun trips around our local community, sometimes out of town, and a couple times a year we go out of state and do overnight trips. So really the highlights were we did a Phoenix zoo trip back in March. We got to tour one of the universities in Phoenix and then go to the zoo, which was really fun. It was raining. It was great. And then the only other big thing was just about a week ago, at the very end of May, we took a group of mostly seniors and a few juniors to spend 2 nights in San Diego, California. We went to the San Diego Zoo. We took a harbor tour. We went to the beach, which was really fun, and we toured 2 of the universities out there in San Diego. I'm a huge fan of San Diego. It's somewhere I would love to live if I could afford it there, but it probably will never happen for me. So, oh my gosh, yeah, that's all of the things that I had going on in the past 3 months. So as you can see, it's been absolutely crazy, on top of like end of the school year with my students, trying to get them, all of them ready for college and getting their financial aid and scholarships and all that stuff, and then graduation, and then like I went to a former student's graduation. It was crazy, but it was really, it's been a lot of fun. So I have no complaints in terms of my personal life. I've been really blessed. There's been a lot of richness, but it's also, I think on top of all of that, everything going on with Gaza, and it's been really heavy on my heart on top of all of those things, and it's been hard to like function as a normal human being. I've had all these great things going on in my life, but then, there comes this other, maybe like a sense of guilt that, as I'm watching my students graduate, there's so many kids in Palestine that will never be able to graduate because their lives have been cut short, or, all the schools and the universities are destroyed. And it's just been really, it's been heavy to like manage that and try to stay active and keep tabs on what's going on while also protecting my mental health. And I'm sure you all understand just the craziness. So filming for YouTube has obviously not been the priority, but I'm really excited to be back. I have a little bit of downtime for about a month and a half over the summer. I still work, but I get a little extra work from home days, and things are just a little slower paced over the summer. So I'm going to try to film hopefully some videos this summer. We'll see. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is TV shows and movies. I mentioned in my last retrospective video that like we're not really big TV series people or anything like that. Our like guilty pleasure TV is RuPaul's Drag Race. So we finished UK versus the World back in, I want to say March, and the American version of season 16 finished. I'm about to give spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers for either one of those two shows, click away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Tia Coffee won UK versus the World. You know, I was happy with that decision. She wasn't necessarily like my favorite, but I didn't really have a favorite. I thought she had a good like character arc. She had her redemption. She like really improved and showed a lot of growth, and she was absolutely hysterical. So I was happy about that. And then I was just absolutely thrilled that Nymphia won season 16. I didn't think she was gonna win. I thought Saphira had the win, and I was honestly really happy with Saphira winning at all. I did not like Plain Jane. Too much of a bully, just did not like the personality, didn't think her like fashion sense was up to par. I don't know why. Well, I do know why everyone liked her and why she lasted so long is because she was so mean that she was great for TV drama, but I just personally don't like that. So yeah, fun conclusions to both of those series. We started watching We're Here season 4, I believe, and you know, the first 3 seasons of We're Here, it had a different set of drag queens, and I love the new queens. So the old ones were Eureka, Shangela, who has allegations, yikes, and Bob the drag queen, and Bob is one of my favorites. Just such a personality, and I think those 3 queens just had like really big personalities. The new queens are Sasha Velour, oh my god, Jada Essence Hall, and what's her name? I'll put a picture of her. She is one of the winners of Canada's Drag Race. She's slipping my name. It's slipping my mind for whatever reason. And Latrice Royal, and I love Latrice. I don't know. I think like the situation with like anti-drag and anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ bills was really bad, but it's gotten worse. And so I think this season is rightfully like more serious, I guess. They're spending like multiple, like 2 to 3 episodes in each town. And I think I understand why they want to show like the intensity of what's going on. And I'm so sorry, for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically about drag queens who go into rural, usually kind of like rural or more conservative towns, and they work with people in the local community to get them in drag, whether they're like people of any gender, any sexuality, right? They'll work with them to get them into drag, and they hold like a drag show, and it's like supposed to be really like this empowering, beautiful thing to like spread love and build community, which is I love. But I don't know, something is just kind of not catching me this season, and I haven't been super eager to keep up with it and watch, but I do think I will be finishing it because I think it's still cool, and I do love the queens of this season. I think maybe their personalities, besides Latrice has a huge personality, but I think the other 3 maybe are a little bit more like, yeah, they're not as like in your face, or I don't know what it is, but I have been watching that show. What else? So my mom, when we were visiting my mom and my dad, my mom was like, I'm gonna put on a show for you guys I think you'll like, and it was Baby Reindeer on Netflix. And like I said, we're not usually into shows, but we watched a couple episodes and we were hooked, and we ended up staying up late and binging the entire season. Such a good show. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's really, really good. It's funny. It's a dark humor. My mom warned us that it was dark humor, but I didn't realize like how dark it would get. So like huge trigger warning there for like drug use, sexual assault, just a lot of crazy stuff like that. But it had us just on the edge of our seats the whole time. I think it handled those really challenging themes really well. It handled like themes of gender and sexuality really well. The love interest of the main character is a gorgeous trans woman. And yeah, it was great. We absolutely loved it. 5 stars for me on that one. Moving on to movies, I went to theaters and we saw Love Lies Bleeding, which was a really awesome story about a bodybuilder woman in New Mexico, in like an unnamed town in New Mexico. I want to say in the very early 90s. And she meets Kristen Stewart's character, and they kind of get caught up in this crazy like crime situation. I loved it. I loved the lesbian love story, of course. I loved the hot muscle character, of course. I loved like the vibes, like the early 90s vibes, or maybe it was late 80s, I can't remember. And I love like the New Mexico desert backdrop. There was some very like surreal, psychedelic elements to this movie that I absolutely adored. I thought it was really good. I would give it like a solid 4, maybe even 4.5 stars, because yeah, it really was very entertaining, and I definitely would love to watch it again. We also saw Abigail, which is about the little girl vampire, and it was really fun. Like, it was silly, it was campy. I would not go into it, like, I think if you go into it trying to take it like super seriously, you will not enjoy it, but I personally did think it was a lot of fun. I give it a solid 3, maybe 3.5 stars on that one. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the movies that I saw in theaters this month. You know, I will mention we did see, my girlfriend is a huge Godzilla fan, and she's gotten me into some of the movies. I really liked the, what's it called? It was the Japanese one that came out either at the very end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024. It was really good, but we went to see the American Godzilla vs. Kong one, and I immediately fell asleep within like the first like 10 to 15 minutes, so I missed it, so I can't really give my opinion on that one. So yeah, that's about it for movies. Okay, so let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about decks. I'll start off by saying I did a little declutter back in, I want to say March or April, and I got rid of a handful of decks. I didn't write them down, so off the top of my head, I sold the Into the Lonely Woods Oracle. I love the artwork. Like, the artwork makes me cry, but the guidebook was weird. It was weird. It was hard for me to use. I also sold the Divine Feminine Tarot, which was a really pretty deck. There's nothing wrong with it. I just wasn't super excited, crazy about it, and I wanted to make space for other decks that I was super excited and crazy about. I also rehomed the El Goliath Tarot. I talked about why in one of my collection videos. Long story short, the creator is a raging transphobe, and so it just doesn't feel good for me to keep that deck in my collection. I gave my pastel RWS away to a friend who I thought would get more use out of it. I love that deck, and I love the colors. I just wasn't really using it and getting a lot out of it. Sadly, I got rid of the Botanica Tarot as well. Freaking love the art in that deck, but just it wasn't working for me with like the symbols, the guidebook. I need a little bit more. But I do have a deck that recently came in this month in June when I'm filming this, that kind of replaces it. So I'm going to give that one a try this month and see how that one works. So maybe y'all will see that in the next retrospective in a couple months. And I'm trying to think what else. I can't remember anything else off the very top of my head, but yeah, it was a handful. It was a little handful of decks, and it felt good to make some space. I almost rehomed the Big Mice Tarot, but I decided I'm going to give it one more chance. So that one's still with me. Let's talk about the decks that came into my collection. So back in March, I picked up a used copy, as you can tell, of the Terra Volatile. I didn't think I would ever buy this deck, honestly. It's not really my normal thing, but I saw this used copy for like a really reasonable price in my buy sell trade store. I sold some of those decks that I had mentioned decluttering in the buy-sell trade store, and so I got it for an even better deal if you think of it that way. Like, almost paid nothing for it. Oh, I think I still have this in order. Yeah, this isn't, I'm not normally into like, oh my god, I'm gonna like embarrass myself, but I'm not normally into, is this Renaissance art? I don't know. I'm not an art history person, but something about this one is really intriguing to me. I like the vibes, like I like the darkness of it, and it kind of feels like a serious tarot deck. Like, I guess I don't have a lot of those, but it kind of feels like a deck that, you know, like if I was getting a tarot reading for someone, I would kind of want to see like a serious deck. Like I would kind of want to maybe see something a little bit spooky. And I know not everyone feels that way, but I just felt like it would be cool to have this in my collection, especially since it was so affordable. I know a lot of you all absolutely love this deck out here. I'm not sure what edition this is. The cards came like quite bowed, and it's kind of like, I don't know, I think it might be the first edition. I don't know. But yeah, it's really, really pretty. Definitely going to be bringing it out more in the fall and winter months, and I'm excited to give it a try and see how it goes. It's very moody. I also, okay, the other thing I appreciate, not to always bring this up, but like a lot of decks that use old art, historical art, like are just white people, and this one actually, you know, makes some effort to incorporate people of color. I know it's hard because like a lot of the older depictions of people of color are really racist. I love this rebirth card. Oh my god, that's amazing. Or like, yeah, a lot of the depictions are racist, so it's like hard to incorporate them in like, you know, a non-racist way, but I appreciate like an effort of some kind in some of the cards. I also love this Temptation card with the Baphomet. Ooh, that is amazing. Yeah, it's gorge. It's gorge. Really stoked that I was able to get it for such a steal. That's the Terra Volatile Tarot by Credo, Quia, Absurdum. Okay, so that was the one deck purchase in March. I also found another deck that's not currently in print for a really good deal online. This is the Ancestral Healing deck. This is a stunning deck. Oh my god. I think this one might still be in order as well. No. Let's see, I've got a little card right there. This cardstock, like everything about this is so gorgeous. And this collage work is like top notch, if you ask me. This is so beautiful. I guess it's not in order, so I don't have to flip it. I love this. This is like the kind of collage deck that I want to see more of. Oh, love that so much. Like, it's extremely diverse, but the collage work is still impeccable in my opinion. I love the color palettes. I love how there's a lot of like cool tones, blues, purples. I'm obsessed. Like, this is absolutely stunning. Look at this. This reminds me of home. Yeah, this is an absolutely gorgeous deck. I feel really, really grateful that I was able to pick up a copy for really cheap, since it's not, I don't think it's currently in print. I don't know the status. Like, I don't know if the creator is planning on doing another printing or anything, but I really, really love that deck. So those were my two purchases of March. That was kind of on track with my like low-ish buy. Very, very ish low buyer. April was not so much on track. I went a little crazy, but I have the two are like, I'll show you. I'll give you my reasons why. So the two, I thought I was only gonna buy 2 decks online that month, which was on track with kind of my goals for low-ish buy. So this is the Hayworth Tarot. This is such a dope deck. Oh my god. It doesn't come with a guidebook. This is an indie deck. You can get it on one specific website. Like, I don't, it's got a weird name, but this is, it's cheap. Like, it's like 20 something bucks, and the cardstock is really bad. There's like a really serious bow going on there. But it's based on the podcast Welcome to Night Vale, which I have listened to. It's something I like sometimes put on before bed, and it usually puts me right to sleep, so it's not like I follow closely along with the story or anything like that. But I don't think you need to know anything about the podcast to appreciate this deck, because it's just so unique. It's so cool. It's so creepy and weird and spooky. And I love that it's creepy and weird and spooky, but it has like this pastel color palette. I think it's so much fun. This came out in April, and you'll see like the decks I used it with, but it was a hit. It was a win. I'm really, really stoked that I have this deck. Like, look at this. That's freaking amazing. It's a lot of fun. It's great for shadow work, in my opinion. It shows, you know, some of the more shadowy depictions of the card meanings that we all know and love. And I think the art style is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that's the Hayworth Tarot. I will put the information of all the decks below, like what their name is and who created them. I'm not gonna link anything, y'all, because like you can just search it on Google and find out for yourself. I don't have time for that. Yeah, so that was the first one that came in, and then the next one that came in is one from Etsy that I've been eyeing for a while, and this is the Fairytale Anime Tarot on Etsy. It is a majors only deck, and it's freaking giant. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get the whole thing in the frame, but basically this is based on all of the Studio Ghibli, like, so let's see if I can identify everyone. May as the Fool, love that choice. So let me just say, like, I'm a Studio Ghibli, like, oh, there we go, we can see it. I'm a Studio Ghibli, like stan, okay? And I'm very picky, and there was some other deck on Kickstarter. I think maybe it didn't go through because of copyright. I don't actually know, but I was like, I do not fuck with this because I did not agree with the meanings. It seemed like someone who either didn't know anything about Ghibli or didn't know anything about tarot, or both. This one I can actually get behind most of these. So Howl as the magician. What's her name? Can't remember her name as a high priestess. That one's whatever. There could be a better one in there. The hot mom from Ponyo, like the sea witch. Yes, you can get behind that as Empress. The old crusty cat from The Cat Returns. Yes, I can get behind that for the Emperor. That's fine. This is the Hierophant. Guy from The Cat Returns. I don't know. Yes, I love this for the lovers from Porco Rosso. That's perfect. That's great. Cat Bus as a Chariot. Absolutely. I would have chosen the same thing. This works for me. San and one of the wolves for strengths from Princess Mononoke. Yes. This kid from Arietti. Yep, I can get behind that. Wheel of Fortune. Sure. That one's whatever. Nausicaa for Justice. Yes, absolutely. We love that. This guy from Porco Rosso for the Hangman. Sure. Oh my gosh. From Grave of the Fireflies, the little tin of fruit. Yes, for death. Yeah, that makes me want to cry. Totoro for Temperance. That's fine. Whatever. No Face going sicko mode for the devil. Yes, I love that. Howl's Moving Castle as a tower. That's cool. I'm down with that. Princess Kaguya. I actually haven't seen this movie for the star, but it seems fitting to me. The moon, Kiki, it's fine. I guess I can get behind it. Calcifer for the sun. That's kind of cute. This is from... I can't remember what movie this is from. And Castle in the Sky for the World, sure. I love this. I think I would prefer a deck that only had the Miyazaki films and not other Studio Ghibli. There are some of them that I really like, but I'm a purist. I think they're not like up to par. They're not on the same level. A lot of the other ones by different creators, but I just think the art is really cute, and I'm definitely like gonna finish out this year using my I don't like these boxes, but I'm definitely gonna finish out the year using my Sonoran Tarot for my monthly card pulls, and then I think I'm going to switch to this one in 2025 and use them kind of like altar cards and like a card energy for the month kind of deal. So that one I think kind of comes in and out of availability on Etsy, and so it came in and I was like, hell yeah, let's snag that. Okay, the other two are like bonus decks, and like here's my excuse. These are both out of print decks that I got for a freaking steal, okay? And it's hard to resist. It's hard to resist, am I right? So I saw on eBay all 3 editions of the Oracle of Oddities, and like it was such a good deal. It was cheaper than they used to sell all together. Like it was way cheaper than if I would have bought them new, and this is the deck I have wanted forever. So there's 3 editions. I'm not gonna go through all of them because I think I'm just gonna like say fuck it and mix them all in a bag or something. I don't know what to do, but this is my only deck by Claire Goodchild so far, but I just like this format. The Memento Mori one, there's like a lot going on with like the different categories and stuff, and this is just nice and simple, and I love this artwork. I love Oddities so much. Me and my partner have like a little Oddities cabinet over in the corner with like bones and dead animals and taxidermy and wet specimens and all kinds of shit. So we're into this. So yeah, I'm really, really stoked that I found this one. So that's why, like, I kind of exceeded the low buy year limits, but for good reason. So beautiful. Oh, God and Goddess. Yeah, so this is the Oracle of Oddities, all 3 editions by Claire Goodchild. Super, super happy about that one. And this last one is a doozy, y'all, so brace yourselves. I'll tell the story. I was in my local buy-sell trade, and I saw this deck, and I recognized it as a rare deck. I didn't know that much about it, but I knew it was rare. And I saw it was like, they knew that it was a rare deck when they priced it. Because it was pricey, but like I knew that it was still a good deal for this particular deck because it's super coveted, out of print, crazy shit. But I was like, do I really want to spend $180 right now on a deck that I was like, no, I probably shouldn't. But I thought about it. I did some research on the deck. I learned about all of the stories and all of the lore behind it. And I watched some videos about it, and I was like, yes, this deck is fucking sick and it's worth the money. But I didn't have that much money to just drop. So I hit up a friend who actually worked at the buy-sell trade, and I was like, hey, can you give me an employee discount? Like maybe, I was thinking maybe I'll get 20% off or something. They hooked it up with a 50% discount, okay? So after the taxes and stuff, I ended up getting this bad boy for just around $100, which once you see it, you're gonna scream. The motherfucking Greenwood Tarot, original copy with guidebook and deck included, in pretty freaking good condition here. So this was, of course, I had to get this. Here's the book. I had to. Look, it even has like a little plastic on it, like it's like a cigarette. I could be wrong, but oh my gosh, this is for those of you who don't know about this deck, like, this is a super cool, rare, beautiful, special deck with, like, some crazy, crazy history behind it. I'm not going to get into the whole thing because I'm not the right person to tell the story, but I will link a video below that I watched that talks about the creators of this deck and the drama and everything that happened. Actually, the artist is, her whereabouts are currently unknown. So just that alone is like crazy to me. It's unclear if she, you know, just dropped off the internet kind of thing, went off grid, or she's actually like, might be like missing. We don't really know. It's not clear, but this is stunning. And I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because I love the majors, but I actually think the minors are my favorite part about this deck. Like, I love how stylized they are. This is definitely going to be a deep dive study for me, probably in 2025, since I have my my attention on other decks right now this year, for my studying practice. But this is just, isn't it cool? I feel so lucky that I was able to get a copy of this for such a steal. So yeah, that's my new pride and joy. The Greenwood Tarot. The Wildwood Tarot is like based on it. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it too deeply, but like I never liked that one. But this one like totally has its own energy. Okay, I'm struggling with that. I'm going to deal with that later. Not on camera. Okay, so those were the 4 decks that came in April. In May, I was back on track. I just had 2 that I purchased. It was almost just 1, and then at the very end, I snagged a used deck. So, of course, I had to get in the Litha Oracle, Seasons of the Witch. I'm hooked. I'm addicted. I'm in too deep, y'all. I'm gonna get them all for sure. That one was a given. I knew at the beginning of the year. So pretty. I've pulled a couple cards at the end of May, but I'm gonna work with it more in June. Love this color scheme. It's really perfect for Litha in my opinion. Love this art style. It's a banger. I don't know. Part of me feels like some of the cards are kind of like, I don't know. It's like there's gonna be 8 freaking decks. Like how many like unique messages can you give? But overall, I'm pleased. Like overall, I'm pleased with it. I like having the seasonal energy, and I think I mostly just like the art more than anything. And I've learned that that's valid. Just like having beautiful art to bring out each season that kind of fits the vibe. So yeah, love this one. Excited about it. I'm definitely going to be getting the Lamas. I don't know if that's how you say it. I'm an uncultured swine. I'm definitely going to be getting that one in soon. I haven't pre-ordered it or anything, but whenever it comes a little bit closer to the season, I'll probably get it so I have enough time for it to ship. And then whenever Ostara comes out, I'm there. I'm with it. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. This one, like I said, I just picked this up randomly at the very end of the month. I saw it at a different like witchy store used for like $12. This is one that's been on my wish list for a long time, and I never like pulled the trigger. Cause like I didn't want to pay $30 for it, to be honest, or 20 or whatever it was. So it was perfect that it came used. I love this. Oh, some of my favorite. This is giving pansexual pride flag. I pulled out most of these cards because I don't like them, but I like these 2 keywords, so I can live with the weird sigil shit, but I'm not crazy about it. There's 10 of those in the deck, and I'm like, lazy. But
I just love this art style. I used to have the Amenti Oracle by the same artist, and I ended up getting rid of it, but I do really like the art. I think this one works a little better for me with just like the general keywords at the bottom. It's got some good ones. It's got some like really general ones that you would see in any deck, but it's got some good ones in here too, some unique ones. And I love just like the color palette. This pairs with a lot of decks that I've played with so far. Not with the ones I thought it was going to. But that's kind of how it works sometimes. You don't know until you actually get them down and start playing with it. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. I'm glad I got it for a steal. This is the modern Nirvana Oracle. I don't know if I said that. It's mass market. Okay, so those are all the decks that I purchased. So, you know, it wasn't like a super low buy, especially in April, but it could have been worse. It could have been worse, you know what I mean? I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. I'm just trying to be a little bit more intentional and a little less, I need them all right now. And then I just had one Kickstarter come in from last year. Look at how pretty it is. This is the Spirits of the Woodland Tarot. I waited so long for this to come in, and I'm so happy I finally did. I really like it. Oh, it's so cute. I don't know what that says. Hedge Pig Ink. I know there's like a name like Nikki something. But anyway, oh, Nicole Stone. Did I need another like animal deck? No, I did not. I most certainly did not, but I couldn't resist this when I saw it on Kickstarter. Like, I just love this art. I love animal decks. This hermit is like everything to me. I love this hermit. It just really transports me into like a magical forest, and it feels like cool. It feels like summer, but like cool. I love this. And I need that where I live. I live in southern Arizona. It's hot as fuck right now. We're in a heat wave. Like, so this just feels nice. I love this. I love this. It's just so pretty. It kind of goes its own way, I think, from the RWS and a lot of cards. Like, I think it's inspired by the RWS, but definitely the artist took a lot of liberties. Has a few extra cards, like day and night, and I don't know what else. I love that so much. It's just so cute. It's like little woodland animal fantasy realm. And some of them are just normal, and some of them there's like some kind of like fantastical things happening. Like the snail holding the lantern or whatever. I love this. This is so gorgeous for a world card. And I love this emperor too. And the little hedgehog. Like, come on. Come on. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this one. This one's probably going to come out late summer. Late summer when I need those cool vibes the most. So yeah, that was the only Kickstarter that came in. Speaking of Kickstarter, back, you know, a few months ago. So in my last video, I said that I backed the Little Monsters and the Terra Incognita Oracle. I ended up canceling my pledge to the Little Monsters. Not because it's not gorgeous, not because I don't love it, but I just, like, they were both, those two were gonna, like, fund around the same time or charge or whatever, complete their campaign. And I was like, do I really need to be spending like $100+ right now on Kickstarters? And I love the Little Monsters Tarot. Like, obviously, it's so cute. It's totally up my alley. But, you know, I looked at some walkthroughs, and I'm like, really, it's an RWS clone, like a simplistic, like kind of minimalist RWS clone with like cute little characters and like
I love that, but like, do I need that? No, I don't need it. So I'm really happy that that deck is going back out into the world, but I decided that I don't need to bring it in my collection, at least not right now. I did keep my pledge for the Terra Incognita Oracle though, so that's exciting. And I also backed the Heart Align Affirmations. I really have been wanting that deck for a while, and it's been unavailable for a while, so as soon as that one came on Kickstarter, I was like, yes. And the Last of Their Kind Tarot. I think I might have already mentioned that one in my last video. And I think that's it. At the end of May, I backed the Magical Pantry. I don't know if it's Magic Pantry or Magical Pantry by Cedar McLeod. I'm a Cedar McLeod stan. I love their deck. I love the Numinous Tarot. Like, that's my favorite, one of my favorite decks of all times. I don't have any of their other decks, but I'm like really excited because I backed the Magical Pantry, and then I'm also, as an add-on, got the Threadbound Oracle, which I've been wanting forever. And yeah, they have a few other cute little goodies and add-ons. I wouldn't normally be into a food tarot, but when it's by Cedar McLeod, it's like impeccable. So I was like all in. I was all in. So that one I think is still funding, but I think it met its goal already. So definitely check that one out if you have the chance. So yeah, that's the exciting stuff coming in from Kickstarter. And I think with that, we're done with my, coming ins and coming outs to my collection. And we can jump into the decks and the pairings that I worked with in each month. Okay, so I'm just gonna, no, let's not do that. I had a really, really, really good deck family that I worked with in the month of March. I'm obsessed with it. It was really great. It was really cohesive for the most part. So I'm just going to show you the pair, like kind of the main pair. My goal is always kind of like capsule. Like, so I do a Lumeria Star deck edit. But my goal is always kind of capsule-y in the sense that like I would like it if the decks could kind of go together cohesively and the oracles will pair with multiple tarots. Like, that's the goal. It doesn't always happen, right? So some of these pair with multiple decks, but the first three is the Wild Child Oracle, the Botan Tarot, and the Stolen Child. These are so good together. I'm so excited to show you some like freaking bangers right here. Like, three of my favorite decks ever. Here's the Stolen Child, Botan, out of print, sorry. Beautiful backs, and Wild Child. I'm pretty sure Stolen Child and Wild Child are still available, as far as I'm aware. Actually, let me put a Wild Child in the middle. So, boom, boom. And boom. Okay. Yeah, the glare isn't too bad. These are like just so freaking precious together. Actually, I only use them like this one with this one, or this one with this one, but they actually look really cool, like, all together. I'm not gonna lie. I'm here for it. Wow, look at that. Oh, I love these decks. If these decks had a fan club, I would be the president. Just so beautiful, so sweet, so precious, so loving. Definitely had a reading with this one that made me cry, these two that made me cry, this another amazing reading with that one. Like, I was going all out with my readings in March. I was like feeling really good about my practice. I was reading a lot.
And yeah, these were definitely some standout highlight, you know, whatever you want to call it. Also, sorry, I'm using a microphone, so hopefully you can't hear the background noise, but noisy neighbors. Okay. I'm sorry, I know this is bad tarot tuber of me to be putting it all away, but there's just so many decks around me, y'all. I have to do it. I have to do it. Maybe I'll edit it out. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's good. Okay, the next little pairing is the Trickster's Journey Tarot. This was my first time using this deck, like for real. Love it. And the Tearwater Oracle. Now, these two, I don't think they're a perfect aesthetic match, but they work. Okay? And the messages are amazing. I love, just me, like how many times am I gonna say like, oh my god, I love these decks? But I do. Oh my god, I love that. 10 of Swords, and it's like a cat clawing him. Queen of Coins and Dream Space. Like, they just kind of speak together, and like the color palettes are different and the art style is a little different, but they weirdly like work. A Tower and Listen. Emperor and Repair. Like, I don't know, I just get such good messages from here. This was a really, really fun pairing. This also paired well with others. But I felt like I liked it the best with this deck, the Trickster's Journey. This is a really cool, in my opinion, underrated mass market deck. It's by a queer Chinese, I don't know if they're Chinese American or Chinese Canadian, I can't remember, but really, really cool. Definitely worth checking out if you're at all interested. The guidebook is amazing, and it's kind of like a queering of this story of the trickster, basically. I'm not explaining it right, but I love this. Yeah, this was a really, really fun pairing, and it worked really well for me. I was really, really enjoyed those two decks together. Oh no, got a little smudge. Okay. Okay, the next pairing is, oh my goodness. We'll throw these three together. I've got Sephiroth Spheres of Heaven, Loreaine, and Dreamscape. Dreamscape also pairs really well with the Stolen Child and Botan. And the Tearwater Oracle also pairs well with these tarot decks right here. Let me show you the backs. Loreaine Oracle only has numbers and not keywords, and I freaking hate that. I wish they would have slapped a keyword on there, but honestly, I got it for the art. Straight up. So, the backs look really good together even. Wow. So, I guess these are both oracles, but we'll stick that one on the side because it works with the size. Okay. I almost rehomed this deck too, but I'm giving it another chance because it's really beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. I just, you know, like I said, there's certain decks that like I'm just not as crazy about, and I want to make rooms for the ones that I'm like, yes, I love you. Wow, it looks so pretty. There's a little bit of a glare. Let me see. Kind of move my light a little bit. I don't know if that's better or worse, but we'll try it. Oop. Who put reversals in here? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Is the rest of the deck reversed? Well, we'll try it. Oh, maybe they were reversed the whole time and I just didn't notice because they're pip cards. Silly me. But yeah, I love this cool, like, blues and purples, grays. I love this color palette. I think, like, the pips over here work really nice to highlight the beautiful artwork here and here as well. I love the gold embossing on these cards. It's so pretty. Yeah, so this was really fun. I think that they worked, these two in particular were a favorite, but this one was fine too. And yeah, I think next year I'm gonna actually bring out this little deck family, the Loreaine, Spheres of Heaven, Dreamscape, as well as the Trickster's Journey and the Tearwater. I think I'm gonna bust those out more in bulk season, like in January, because I think they'll pair, maybe pair nicely with the in bulk Oracle with all of the blues and like cool tones there. So I think I'm gonna try that. But I think that they were really cohesive, and like kind of like that little group I just mentioned was almost like a true capsule. Like they pretty much you could get away with pairing them all together in one way or another. All right. And then last but not least, I have my amazing, beautiful, and cherished Phantasma Oracle. It just didn't really pair with anything. I haven't found a good pair for it, but this Paulina Faye is releasing a Fairies Oracle deck, I think, later on in 2024. And I love fairies, and I love her artwork, so I think I'm gonna, mine's edged in fun pastel colors. I think I'm gonna get that, and that'll be the eventual pair of this one, but I'm also fine with this one being a standalone because I use it for a lot of like inner child or inner tween kind of readings, or just, it just connects me, even if I'm not doing that specific work, it just kind of connects me to that younger version of myself. And I love this deck so much. This is one of my favorite decks ever, actually. I was gonna say my favorite mass market decks, but it doesn't matter because it's just one of my favorites. So yeah, that is the Phantasma Tarot. All of the March decks were really good, and I think it was like a really successful deck family this year, and I was really pleased with it. When I have really cohesive deck edits, it makes me want to read my cards more, and like, you know, engage in my practice more. So it's important to me to do this, and it also helps me like get to all of my decks because I have so many, so it helps me get to all of them at least a little bit each year, you know. So I really enjoy that particular practice. So let's take a look at April. Okay, so I also like adored the little group I had going in April. Like, once again, it was amazing. It was almost perfect. The first little pairing I'll show is the Smoke Action Embers and the Faceted Garden Oracle. This is a really fun pairing. Faceted Garden went with a lot of my decks this month though, but this was kind of the one that, like, the favorite. Oh my god. Okay. Goodness gracious. There's the beautiful backs. This is like an all-time favorite for me as well. And I was a little unsure about the faceted garden, and then I worked with it this month, and oh, I love the edges. Or in April, I should say. And it was so perfect. Let's see how is the lighting doing. Maybe a little too direct here. Just so beautiful, so naturey. It felt great for like an introduction into spring, like very spring vibes. I love this card. Anomaly, what a great word. Just a really, really beautiful pairing. I think the colors go really well together. Oh, stunning. The little dragons in this deck are just so fucking cute, especially the little water dragons in the cups. I'm obsessed. So this one was really fun to work with, and I really, really enjoyed this pairing. Uh-oh, I'm knocking things around. This one I'm not even gonna try to put in the box right now. If you know, she's tight. It's a snug fit in there. Of course, I worked with the Seasons of the Witch Beltane. This was the first season of the Witch I ever got, and I love it. It paired with a lot of the decks once again. And I paired it up with the Playful Heart. This one, I don't really have a good, it hasn't met its perfect pair yet, but it definitely worked with the Beltane Oracle. So we'll look at those two together. So cute. Like, I feel like the colors definitely work. The art style is a little jarring, I guess, for me personally, but it's not a bad, like, I mean, I think it's a good match. I guess the only thing, this deck is very, like, sex positive, like, fertility, and then with, like, this deck that's very, like, childlike. It's kind of weird sometimes, but that's okay. I love this Five of Pentacles. I'm still looking for a good pair for the Playful Heart, so if you have any suggestions, definitely leave a comment below and let me know what you think. But yeah, like I said, I definitely used this with like all the decks, and it worked really well with almost all of them. I love the Beltane Oracle. It might be my favorite. I don't think it's my favorite like art, but just the vibe, I think, is my fave. And I love the Playful Heart. It's newer to my collection. I'm really excited to continue getting to know it, continue working with it. Okay, the next little pairing is the, I'm gonna say it wrong, L'Oeil de l'Âme. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. It's French. Tarot and the Heart's Eye Oracle. There's that one. This is a pricey one over here, but I love it so much. Okay, here's the back. Beautiful, beautiful backings. This was a really fun pairing. I tried to pair this one with like Phantasma and some of the decks I used in March because I thought it kind of fit the vibe, but it just didn't pair. And so I ended up putting it away and bringing it back out in April, and it found its mate here with this deck. I think that it works so well. Even the cardstock like feels good together. They're not the same, but like, I don't know, it's a whole experience. Knight of Pentacles and Meditate. 5 of Wands and Let Go. Ooh, that's a good one. Like, I feel like the messages work really well. They just kind of speak together. And the art style just clicks. Like, I think these are kind of tricky art styles to pair on both ends, but they just kind of work together really nicely. And the colors look really pretty together. Beautiful. I loved this pairing. Page of Wands and Courage. Like, how cute is that? Last one, Queen of Cups and Healing. Perfect. Such a good match right there. Okay, so that was the heart side and the L'Oeil de l'Âme, however you say it. Okay. All right. Next up, excuse the dog hair and the cat hair, always. I have the Hayworth Tarot that I just talked about earlier, and it paired really nicely with the Viator Somniarum Oneiromancy. Oh my god, that's a mouthful if I've ever seen one. This deck is out of print currently. Sorry. There's the backs together. And the Hayworth Tarot actually paired really nicely with like all of the Oracle decks that I used this in April, which was unexpected but cool. I love this. But these art styles and the color palettes like just kind of go well together. Oh, Batman the cat is making an appearance. He's going ape shit this morning. Of course, as soon as I want to film a video, he's like raging and running around like crazy. He's so cute though. You gonna lay down right there, sir? So this deck is based on like dream work, but I think I don't use it for that currently. I just use it more of like an oracle, like a typical oracle keyword, and I think it has really interesting keywords. Innocence and Temperance. That's a good one. Rebirth and the Moon. This was just really fun. 3 of Wands and Hope. Judgment and Stuck. Like, they speak so well. Very cool. All right, last one. 10 of Cups and Excitement. Such a good one. Really enjoyed that one. And the Hayworth was a fast favorite for sure. Definitely became a fast favorite for me. I knew it would be. Like, it was on my wish list for a long time, and I just thought it was so freaking cool. I can't get over how affordable it was. Okay, the last pairing is the Begin Oracle and the Spolia Tarot. Also out of print. So sorry. I show out of print decks here. I apologize if it bothers you, but these are the decks. You know, I'm just sharing what I do. I'm sharing, you know, my practice, what decks I used. So, yeah. And these are what I used. These are the backs together. Both collage decks, so of course that helps, but I think the colors also really complement each other in a lot of these cards. I'm just doing this side by side for the sake of time, but usually I would do, like, for my daily draw, I'd put the Oracle in the middle and have 2 tarots on the side. Tower and the 5 of Cups. The collage style in the Begin Oracle is a lot more like wild and reckless and like less neat and tidy. And I think this one is more like, it sounds bad, but like polished, I guess, but not to say that this one is like bad. It's just a different style, and I love them both, honestly. Look at those colors. Yes. This was really fun. Once again, these decks paired with others in the group as well. I really felt like April was like a true capsule collection, and I'm probably gonna stick with pretty much that exact same group next year. Maybe I might move 1 or 2 things around, but honestly, I loved it so much. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? So that was my last deck pairing for April. We just have one last group to look at for May. For May, I went with like a really like vibrant, colorful, kind of like oranges and pinks and like pastels, but also bright. I went with some like desert vibes for May as well. So the first pairing that I want to show is like probably my favorite. Probably one of my favorite pairings ever. We have the She-Wolf and the Wilderness Collide Oracle. Unfortunately, this deck is out of print once again. Sorry. It's such a pretty deck. I hope that they reprint it because it's really nice and the quality is amazing. These decks are just like, I swear they're made for each other. Like, oh my goodness. So beautiful. They just work so well together. The She-Wolf is my only Devony Wolf deck. I'm so tempted by the Serpent Fire, y'all. I think the Serpent Fire would pair even more perfectly with this Oracle deck, but I'm like, ooh, do I need both? Like, I think the She-Wolf and the Serpent Fire have very different vibes, but they still kind of, you know, they're by the same artist. They occupy the same space. I love this Feyborn card. That is so gorgeous. This pairing just feels very like, very kind of like new age, which isn't always my thing, but it kind of speaks to like a younger part of me. Maybe not my inner teenager, but like my inner like late teens, early 20s, like college kid. Like, I think I would have been obsessed with this at that time. And I'm obsessed with it now, honestly. Like, I think the art styles in both of these decks, the collage work is stunning. And I got some really powerful messages from these. Wow. Wow, look at this. Lovers and alignment. Like, are you kidding me? That's like the most perfect She-Wolf and Death with the She-Wolf Tarot. It's just so good. So that was definitely one of my top pairings of this month, if not the top. Love it, love it, love it so much. I think all of these decks that I'm gonna show you for May, like I think they were cohesive in terms of color palette and stuff, but those two that I just showed didn't really pair as well with some of the other ones. I think overall, like this was a little less capsule-y, I guess. Let's see what I want to do next. These two, and we'll throw in. Okay, we'll do these three. So I have Elf of Heaven. This is not an original copy. That's a reproduction, a Similike reproduction that I found on Etsy a while ago. I don't think it's still available. Iris Oracle and the Moon Power Tarot. This one is very new to me. I love Iris Oracle. This is one of my favorite Oracle decks ever. Oh, let me show the backs. Maybe a good little tarot tuber. Love that. I love these backs on the Moon Power as well. They look really good together. Alrighty. I think the Iris paired well with both of these decks. The Iris is kind of like heavy hitting. I got some glare going on here. Is that better? The Iris is really heavy hitting. Like I use this deck to confront a lot of like childhood, I guess trauma, I don't know. Like it brings up a lot of like parental like issues, and but then these two decks are really silly and fun, and sometimes when you're working like with really heavy keywords here in the Oracle, it can be nice to kind of pair it with something a little lighter. I love that. Pair it with something a little lighter, or not. I love this. So I have all four of the 6 Sad Girls, like planetary power decks, as I call them. And I thought that the Moon Power would be my least favorite, but so far it's my favorite. I've only worked with 2 so far. Well, really, mostly the Moon Power and a little bit of Star Power, but I love it, actually. It really surprised me. I'm going to be making a video about those 4 decks at some point when I get my shit together. I love this. So yeah, that was the first kind of little grouping I had. Iris Oracle, the Moon Power Tarot, and the Elf of Heaven Tarot. And I just have one more little group to show you after this. Okay. We have the Desert Illuminations Oracle, the Desert Illuminations Tarot, and the Spiritual Tarot by Aki Rex Uno. So, Desert Illuminations, like, yes, I'm a huge fan of Lindsay Williams' work. I don't know if I'm gonna pick up their new Oracle about Saints. It's intriguing me. I love their artwork, but I have religious trauma. Just kidding. Not that bad. I just don't know if I'm interested. Come on now. In Saint stuff. I think these ones are in order, but that's okay. Oh, let me show you the backs really quickly. Yay! So, boom, bada boom, bada boom. These two are by the same creator, so obviously they look amazing together. And this one it's a majors only deck. I featured this in my last video about my decks, my 4 unique decks from Japan. I kind of just threw this one in like here and there in all of my readings, and it kind of fit the vibe. It fit the vibe, it fit the theme this month, and it was nice to just like end the reading with like a boom, like a major arcana card. But these are super fun together. Like, those colors are amazing. This deck paired well with a lot of the decks that I worked with, a lot of the other tarot decks I worked with this month. And it was just really fun. This deck is, this Oracle deck is very balanced. Like, there's a lot of really positive words, but there's also some really interesting, more like shadowy words in here. I love the New Mexico and Southwest inspired vibes in both of these decks, and I relate a lot being from Arizona, living my whole life here. I love New Mexico though. So yeah, this was a really fun group. I feel like the colors worked really well. I really loved like the color palette that I had going on this past month. It was a lot of fun. You know, to be honest, I was really busy and just dealing with a lot. So I didn't, you know, I kind of fell off the bandwagon and didn't quite use my cards as much as I wanted to, as much as I like to and prefer to. But you know, that's okay. Sometimes we fall off and we just hop back on when we're ready and when we can. So I'm gonna call it there. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being here if you stuck with me. It's so good to be back. It would mean so much to me if you could like this video, subscribe if you like what you see. I'm a newer channel, so it helps me grow a little bit. And no matter who you are, no matter where you are, I hope the rest of your day is filled with so much magic and so much joy. Bye bye.